Hundreds of thousands have crowded the streets of the Syrian capital to show their support and loyalty to President Assad. The country's been divided by 7 months of violent crackdowns on anti-regime protests that have left almost 3,000 people dead so far. Syria has been threatened by international sanctions as pressure builds on Assad to step down. And RT's Tessa Asilia is in the heart of Damascus.
Thousands of people gathered to show their support for the government here in Syria. There was a lot of chanting, pro-Assad slogans being shouted out, as well as Syrian flags being carried around and posters. And it seemed like all the cars were converging into this one area here. Now, of course, this is a far cry from what we see in other places in the country, in other cities, where there have been reported clashes between anti-government protesters and security forces, not to mention the killings that have also been reportedly taking place. Of course, if we think about it, since the protest started, Damascus has been largely sheltered from the conflicts in those other cities. And the people here, when we talked to them, they said they came out to the streets today essentially to say that the Syrian people are still united, at least as far as they are concerned, and that they are not against reform. They just don't want to see it coming from the outside. They want to be able to make that decision on their own, coming from within. Now, what's interesting too is we saw a couple of military helicopters flying very low, in my opinion, over the crowd. They were carrying the Russian and Chinese flags, so they also wanted to show their gratitude that the two countries had vetoed the UN Security Council resolution that would have imposed sanctions on Syria. Now, what's interesting too is that the people I saw, at least this morning, were from various sectors of society. There were students, there were older people, there were some who were claiming to be from rather lower social class, and some who appeared to be from a higher class. So it was from all different sectors, but one thing that unites them, though, is that because of what's happening in their country, they're now all involved in a sort of political discourse, and they say this can only be positive in light of things that's going on.